We're going to do some college matchups. Are you ready for this or no?
I'm ready for
okay,
this.
so let's start in Oxford, where Ole Miss faces Alabama. According to Westgate Superbook, the Tide are 5-point road favorites. So who gets the win, Robert?
I like Alabama in this. I just don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to produce enough offense. Alabama, statistically, very good defense, but I think what bothers me more is Bo Wallace and the way that he plays quarterback. They're going to have to take some shots. They're not going to be able to run the football on this Alabama defense. And you go back and you watch some of the throws that Bo Wallace makes. This first interception that he threw against Memphis, it was like a post and a corner combination. The cornerback never goes with the post, so he should have assumed that that guy was going to be there. He tries to throw this corner out. The corner's right there. Easy interception. And I know that Hugh Freeze has had these conversations about hoping that the good Bo Wallace shows up. I just don't think they're going to be able to do enough. And when I look at the Mississippi defense, they run this 4-2-5, and their defensive ends are a little bit small. Johnson and Thompson on the other side, they're a little bit small. Alabama will line up in two tights, and they will take Derrick Henry, 6'2", 235-pound running back. They will wear this Mississippi defense out. And Lane Kiffin will do enough to change up looks, to dictate matchups, and be able to produce just enough in the pass game.
Stephen A.
Roll Tide. I got to
Oracle.
tell you something right now. When I think about it, listen, I don't even have to think about Alabama's defense because obviously they don't break too much, but I'm not as impressed with their defense as this year as I have been in the past. But I love Amari Cooper. What has he got? He's got about 655 yards, 5 touchdowns already on 43 receptions this season. I'm also looking, we've been talking about T.J. Yeldon, but this kid Henry, like Robert Smith just pointed out, the Oracle, it's the combination of Henry and Yeldon. Well, I have no concerns about this game whatsoever. I expect Alabama to run the ball down their throat. I think the Tide put up about 35 to 40 points, something along the lines of, I'd say 35-17, something along those lines.
Wait a minute. You think Alabama has a chance to score 40 on one of the best defenses at home in college football?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I do. Because I
I'm
think
shocked
because
by that.
I think that they're
I'm just
I think
hoping
they're
I get
going to
the
run
Oracle
all
title
day long.
I'm
Yes,
just hoping
I
I
do.
get the Oracle title back from my dear friend Skip.
Robert Smith just earned back his
You got
title.
it. You're back.
He did. He got it back. He is now the Oracle. And he broke this down beautifully to start off this conversation. And I will, so to speak, tie a bow on it because I do not believe in Bo Wallace in games of this stature and magnitude. He's been there for, it seems like, forever, and I think he's going to lose his third straight game to Alabama. I'm going to go 24-14 Roll Tide.
All right, another big matchup in the Magnolia State when number 2 Mississippi State, they host rather.
Texas A&M.
There you go. I'm looking at it, and I'm deciding, Robert, since you're the Oracle again, who's going to win this one?
I'm going to go with Texas A&M in this one. I'm not real comfortable about this. This Texas A&M defense, although they have shown flashes, you have to give them credit towards the end of that game on the last 6 drives against Arkansas, really tightened down. But for me, it's the offense that's going to be the difference in this one. Not just Kenny Hill, but the weapons that he has. And if you're a wide receiver in high school right now, why wouldn't you want to go play for Kevin Sumlin? If you're any player, why wouldn't you want to go play for him? But especially if you're a wide receiver, they bring in Speedy Noyle, who adds in with Ricky Seals-Jones and Pope and Reynolds and Kennedy. They just have so much talent on the outside. And when I watch Mississippi State, as stout as they are up front, they don't produce great pass rush, and they're not real solid on the back end of that defense. They're probably not going to have those big linebackers in coverage a whole lot. They'll probably be in some sort of nickel and dime. But I just don't like the back end of Mississippi State's defense. I think that's going to be the difference in the game.
Kenny Hill, I'm just too impressed by him, and I'm too impressed by Sumlin. He seems to find a way to put up points no matter who he's going up against. We understand that. We understand how lethal this offense is, and it's just that simple to me. Don't know much about Mississippi State. All I know is that I look at Kenny Hill and Texas A&M and that offense, and I think whoever they're playing against, in most instances, they will outscore them. It's just that simple to me. That's how I look at it.
I've been trying to warn you guys about Mississippi State. They will turn into last year's Auburn. And this is where it starts. This will be a shootout because obviously Coach Sumlin's offense is going to score some points on anybody, even these guys in Starkville. But a shootout will ensue, and Dak Prescott will win it 45-35, and he will vault into Heisman contention, if not maybe to the top of the list. This team will run wild on an A&M defense that got run wild on by Arkansas at Jerry World last Saturday. It's going to be a track meet for Mississippi State, and I'll go 45-35.
Have not been impressed by LSU at all, as far as I'm concerned. I had better expectations for them, including this kid Fournette. I don't think it's measured up, Robert, Skip. I'm of the mindset that Auburn's a little bit better than people gave them credit for, even though they were obviously the runner-up for the national championship. People thought they were going to fall off the map when they looked at their schedule, but that hasn't been the case right now. They've got a hell of a schedule coming up over the next several weeks there against top 15 teams in the nation. We know that, but I think they handle their business in this one because of Artis Payne and because of Nick Marshall and what they're capable of doing. I think they find a way to win this game.
And I do not. I'm going with the upset. I got LSU because I think Leonard Fournette is starting to figure it out. I love the true freshman starting at quarterback. And I do not love Auburn so far. They were handed a game on that Thursday night up in Manhattan, Kansas by Kansas State. 20-14, and I'm just not buying Auburn the way I was buying Auburn last year. I think LSU is going to emerge as a force to be reckoned with from here on.